Welcome back to Deep Thought. We're going through 999, and as the subtitle of this episode says, we are going for an ending.
Yeah, you're actually kind of locked with endings by the time you get to, entering your third door is pretty much you getting that ending, even though you're solving a puzzle still. There are a few things that, you can do. You can give certain characters, certain items in that puzzle room to essentially deviate from an ending or two, but for the most part in this game, as soon as you have picked your third door, you're on the path to get a certain ending.
Yeah, and this is after much of the stuff in the recent episodes have been a little bit kind of slow, a little bit uneventful. Well, besides Snake's death, really, like this has been kind of not really too much is happening.
If there's any indication of how slow these parts have been, I have turned Clover into a manic depressive bipolar child, and I have turned Ace into a recovering drug addict who has relapsed into his addiction. That should show you how slow this commentary has been.
Well, now things are getting even more interesting because we found yet another dead body.
Yeah, this isn't one of the players. So, those theories a couple parts back that the killer or Zero could be someone outside of the group of 8 or even the group of 9. That's kind of now heavily supported. At least we have evidence that there's more than just the players on the boat.
But how do we know that this person here isn't Zero himself?
It's sort of leading you to believe that at first, because they flash back to when Zero originally announced himself as the captain of the boat, and now that we're in the captain's quarter, using that generic translated font. Like, I swear, anytime Japanese characters are taken out of a game and replaced with English, they always use that same fucking font. So, now we're in the captain's quarter, and the captain's dead, so if you're following the train of thought that the captain is Zero, no matter what other circumstances being, then you're left with some questions of, is this Zero? Who killed Zero? And does this mean the game is over?
And there's a big fuck off axe. That's what I like to call him.
Another thing too is that you can see sort of under his sleeve that he is also wearing a player's watch. Yeah.
I also like keep turning. Oh, sorry. No, you can go. Never mind.
No, I wasn't entirely sure if the game actually references his watch, but very clearly we were seeing that he has Zero on his watch. So it's very obvious that this is Zero. Almost too obvious. Like, why would Zero put so many indicators on himself? And also, now that we know that he was in the captain's quarters, why would he stay where he announced he would be? What I'm trying to get is that he's so obviously Zero that it's too obvious that a lot of it feels planted.
So this is yet another puzzle room. It's a little bit better than the last one, except for, well, the last sequence that you have in order to actually escape the room. This particular thing right here, the Zero, it involves more digital roots and more base 10 arithmetic. And at this point, I'm just starting to become a little numb to it.
It also doesn't help that we're getting 2 puzzles in one puzzle room. Like, the game has definitely set up its pace, it's established its pacing. Although it is pretty okay for them to break it since we are drawing near an ending. So you can sort of just see this as the climax / conclusion of this storyline. So it's kind of okay too that we're getting the 2 puzzles, but it can feel a bit jarring if you're used to how the game has been pacing itself out so far. Especially since you almost want to investigate the room more than solve a puzzle. Like, yeah, we gotta find a way out, but it's okay. Can we first get on board with, what the fuck happened to this old man, and who the hell was he? Meanwhile, Clover has the exact opposite idea. She wants to get out, but no. I need to know about this guy first.
And as I was going to point out earlier, he has those like kind of like typical hey, guy is dead. Now his eyes are like no more. Like there's no pupils. It's just the white eye. I've always found that kind of weird.
I guess it's better than having X's where his eyes should be.
Yeah. Well, that is true. Or they could have just like, I don't know, closed his eyes, or maybe make the pupils a certain like kind of grayish or something, because I'm pretty sure that's another kind of trope or whatever.
Yeah, normally, because I know when people die, yeah, their eyes glass over, just because, there's no blood flow going to the eyes. But yeah, it's definitely accentuated in certain art styles where the eyes are just completely white, like the sclera for some weird reason just conquered the entire eyeball.
Now this is a little bit of a weird thing to do. You have to take apart a nursery rhyme playing machine, or however you say it. God, I don't know.
It's a music box.
Music box. There we go.
I used to have a few growing up, but they were mostly just my grandma's and stuff that were hanging around the house.
Well, you have to take that apart. You have to take the cylinder where it has those little pegs that play the song, have the notes, and then you have to roll it in ink, and then roll it across the paper, and it'll form this. It's Morse code.
I actually really, really like this puzzle. It feels a lot like the puzzles you would normally see in a point-and-click adventure game, where you kind of need to have some knowledge of the mechanisms of a music box to know that it has like the ridges and raised bumps on the cylinder in order to like trigger the keys inside of a music box. So I can understand how some people could see this as obscure, but I actually really enjoy how this puzzle works out, because it works on a really solid logic, although it's a logic that requires some knowledge.
Yeah, and it's also, unlike the last two, hey, here's things you look off and then use that to solve this puzzle, but we're not going to let you actually look at the thing while you're solving the puzzle, so just to make it harder. They don't do that with Morse code, because trying to memorize that would probably be just almost impossible. So it's a good thing they have the Morse code paper there for you to look over on the top screen while you're putting in the Morse code.
Yeah, I definitely do like how the last puzzle room was essentially just two memorization puzzles. They were really piss easy. I do like how this was more of deconstructing and combining your items, and they're multi-stepped. So, whereas the chart room is nice, I find it to be a bit too easy and also not a puzzle. It's just memorizing. This room is definitely a really solid puzzle room to me, just by how the puzzle is executed and then what the solution is.
In the drawer, there's a book with hieroglyphics all over it. That indicates something, so maybe there could be a mummy on the ship, like June says?
No, I think June's cuckoo-ness is starting to rub off on you, bro. I'm gonna have to stop you there.
Well, all right. I'll just kind of restrain myself in the future from saying such things. But in any case, we found there's another key card. It is the Mars symbol, I think
it's
that's
actually
Mars.
the Uranus.
Oh God. See, I'm not good with this stuff.
Well, they're very, very similar. The difference being the dot in the middle of the circle and the orientation. Uranus is actually straight up and down, whereas the Mars has the arrow pointing in the upper right corner. So they're very, very similar, but just there's little details about it that differentiate the two. I mean, like, you can't really confuse Jupiter's with anyone else's, but no, the Uranus and Mars one definitely is really, really similar.
So for this final part, you have to go input a number code into the machine that's on the door, which is the exit. First off, you have to use this key right here, titled the unique key. But in order to do that, you have to, again, put in a number. But what number, you may be wondering? Well, you have to input the number 0. Not the number 0, the word 0, numerically. Based off of the chart that we see, it's, I think it's base 10, or it's another base thing, or whatever. But again, yeah, it's, you have to look over it before you actually start solving the puzzle, so you kind of have to just kind of quickly think of what it is, and then just try to hold on to that thought until you, input the number. So, yeah, this thing right here is... It doesn't even say the 0. I mean, it doesn't even have the Z there. So you're just kind of left to figure out that on your own.
Well, it shouldn't be that difficult, but at the same time, it is kind of a dick move that they would have another hexadecimal puzzle when one of the values is Z. It's like, dang, could you really go with a more further out letter? That seemed like a really added character happy expression.
Yeah, well, there was... well, I don't know. It's like the moment, hey, we're gonna escape again. Getting one step closer to getting off of this ship. And with that, we are out of this room, but we're not done just yet.
No, it's only just begun.
Oh, yes, it has. At this point in the game, I was kind of more nervous than I had ever been when I started playing it. I had no idea what was going to happen. I mean, from that room that we just went out of, I had maybe a little bit of a hint, but still, like, anything could have happened at this point, and I just didn't know what it was, so it's pretty tense.
It definitely caught me off guard just because if this is your first ending route, you're not really entirely sure on when endings are triggered. Like, they could have happened a lot sooner in the game, just you went down the wrong corridor, 0 comes up behind you and cuts you up, you got bad ending. Like, I wasn't entirely sure like how the endings worked, but to clarify, they all are about the same length. Like, they require you to go through 3 doors, and then from there the lengths will vary a little bit based on how much story is being told after, but you will get through 3 doors and then get to the ending. So the first time, you're not entirely sure if, like, am I halfway through? Did I win? Am I gonna see them escape? What's going on? Like, you don't even know. The first ending tends to really catch you off guard on how sudden they just... I just went through the 3rd door. How has the game already ended? But once you get your first ending, you know. And then from there, you go through to get the other endings. You're like, alright, 3rd door. Let's see with this ending. Let's see which ending I got with these choices.
I think the consistency is a very good idea, like with where the endings are. Because there are other games like, I don't know, Corpse Party, for example, where if you don't go down the exact right path, then you'll die. You'll die in that game a lot.
It's like, congratulations, you've played the game for 40 minutes, now you dead.
Yeah, because you didn't do this one thing 20 minutes ago that you were supposed to do, but didn't actually know. Yeah, honestly, I actually never played that game. I just saw, like, all the grisly endings, because I'm really interested in that kind of stuff. I like a game with a bunch of variety in it, and how you die.
See, I've just heard of it. I may watch a Let's Play, or hell, if there's even a screenshot Let's Play, even better, because I kind of don't want to listen to someone talk over a game like that.
Yeah, and there are, like, silent Let's Plays of it, or playthroughs of it, but the only problem is it's completely in Japanese. Like, it's translated into English, but the voice acting is still in Japanese.
Whatever.
Oh, look. June has something to tell us.
June, did you see a ghost? Is this what's so... Did you find a vampire behind door number 2 or whatever? I don't know.
Did you find the mummy?
Did you get wet? Did the mummy get you wet? Found it.
Oh, wow. Huh. That's a bit more useful than I was expecting.
Although, I will admit, they were very courteous to not go through it. I mean, not that they could have, but at least they were nice enough to say, hey, we found it, and then we came back to get you guys. So, I'll give you props for that, June. You may have a weird sense of logic, but at least you're courteous.
This is also the game giving us also a sense of confidence, because for God's sake, we found the number 9 door. The number 9 door has been found. We can go through it now, and we can get off of this ship. So now at this point, I'm thinking, okay, I still think that something bad is probably going to happen, but there's now a little bit of hope. But
let me just remind you all that despair is at its worst when it's preceded immediately by hope. So, you gotta raise them up, get their hopes up, just so you can crush and dash them to the ground. But I mean, you can already tell that this shouldn't, even if you don't know that the ending is coming, or you do, you should have some sense that you may not have gotten the best, because for all intents and purposes, for all the knowledge you have at this point in the game, Snake is dead. So, even if you are escaping, you're getting, like, the B ending, because you escaped, yeah, but there are some people who are dead. So, you didn't get to escape with everyone.
And Clover wants to do something, though. It was the number 6 door that the others had gone through, and that's how they found the number 9 door. However, she wants to go through the number 2 door, just in case there could be another exit. At least that's her reasoning behind it. But at this point, I'm like, okay, Clover, are you okay? I get the sense that you, that's not why you want to go through the number 2 door.
It's like, look, I'm gonna level with you here. We are not going to magically find a clone of Snake hidden behind the number 2 door. As much as you want to believe that that is going to happen, he is dead. He is not coming back. There's a reason why this isn't the best ending.
And to be honest, it is, at this, like, we still don't know anything. Like, there could be another exit behind door number 2. Like, just because there wasn't one behind door number 1, and there was one behind door number 6, doesn't mean that there may or may not be one behind door number 2. Because, again, we don't know. We're playing this game as if it's, like, the first time.
Also, kudos for Junpei doing a time drop. I believe he just said it was 4:30 a.m.
Oh, yeah. And they still have plenty of time left. So, Clover, Santa, June, and 7 will be going down the elevator into door number 2. Keep that particular group in mind, because it'll be very important to remember in just a few moments.
They're the ones that are going to escape without you. Those cheaters.
Now this is another part I found kind of funny. Lotus, will you be so kind as to go with me?
Also, I don't know if this is the first mention of her being a mother. I mean, because I'm not gonna lie, guys, I was pretty spaced out during the laboratory. I was more preoccupied about the robot eventually blowing up in her face when she gets angry, but this may be the first time she mentions that she's a mom.
Yeah, because I think at this point she only says that she knows how to program stuff. She's very resourceful. She's just basically not who we thought she was, but now we know that she's a mother, so, intrigue.
Also, can the elevator, being in front of the elevator, can that just stop being the awkward space of the boat? Like, it seems every single sleazy, awkward conversation happens in front of elevators.
Well, I think this is probably, like, the best position to look, because I always find, like, things the scariest when you're looking straight ahead.
Yeah.
And so now Clover has returned, but not the others.
What happened here, Clover? Did Zero get them? Did they leave you behind? Those fuckers. I knew we should have trusted them.
Well, 3 plus 6 is 9, and plus 7 is 16. That would make the digital root of 7, I believe. So, I don't think they found the number 9 door down there. Well,
who cares? Because all I know is that 5 plus 4 is 9, so let's get the fuck out of here, Clover. You're not my ideal escape partner, but you know what? I'ma take it.
Oh. Well then.
Oh, holy shit. Damn it, Junpei. You're so... You're like a poet.
Well, who wouldn't... This is...
I know. Beep.
Yeah. The first...
This is not a good scene.
Yeah. I was freaking out at this point. Like, I was about to literally, not really, explode with just absolute fear. Because, oh no. You know what happens when the bracelets come off. There are only 2 ways for them to come off. And I'm pretty sure there's not a number 9 door down there. So, Clover might have done something down there that,
Oh god, I love the red glow that they added to the bracelets.
And her reasoning for killing them, if I can't put it any more bluntly, was revenge. Because, let's see, 7 plus 3 plus 2 apparently makes 3. And that was the number of the door that Snake got pushed in. So, by her logic, 7 and Santa must have killed Snake.
Really? Of all the people, Clover? Those 2?
That's really the extent of her reasoning, though. Like, there's no other reason besides, yeah, the digital root of their combination is 3. Oh, and then she killed June because she was just there and she was a witness. And then we have this.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the reasons why Clover is so fucking popular, is because of this axe ending. She becomes so maniacally twisted and cold, and people eat this shit up. They love that the lolly went psycho. They broke the lolly. And so because of that, she went from just being, oh, she's the cute character, so that's why I like her too. She's also the cute and psycho character, so we love her even more.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. I like to respectfully disagree with those people. It's just creepy. It's just creepy. I'll be honest. The first time I played that and I got to that ending, I almost didn't sleep at night because I was scared that some random chick with pink hair and freaking earmuffs was gonna barge into my room and do something horrible to me.
Dude, did you first play this when you were like 10?
No, I played this when I was 15. Like when I was a sophomore in high school. Like I
guess that's emotionally immature enough to think those kinds of things.
Yeah, well, I mean, I exaggerated a bit there, but I mean, I still really creeped out by this, and it would have been fine if it weren't for that face that she makes. Like, my God, I mean, I have to give props to the artist though. Like, she did a really great job with that. We haven't even mentioned her so far. Like, what was her name again? She did like character designs for Street Fighter or something. A lot of Capcom games.
I'm gonna have to leave that up to you to find, because this was one part of the axe ending that was horrendous for me, was that we just saw the evidence that she murdered 3 of the players, but then she tries to extend a hand of salvation. Like, Junpei even refers to her as a goddess, where it's like, yeah, I killed them, but don't you still want to live? It's like, yes, I mean, they're dead. Nothing I can do about that, but at the same time, there's a chance that I can live, get out of this ordeal, and then that gets immediately taken away. Like I said, Clover knows how to inflict true despair.
Mm-hmm. By using a big fuck-off axe.
That she apparently was hiding in the pockets of her hoodie, because Junpei was like, she was hiding something. It's like, But how was she hiding an axe?
Actually, I think she was hiding that in her back. Because I think back in the room where, like, Junpei had noticed that she was hiding something, when she had walked by him, he had noticed that there was something on her back. Yeah. So we have reached a bad ending. A very, very, very bad ending.
Definitely the most famous of all the endings. This was probably the ending everyone was like hoping we would get first. Well, there you go. I hope you're satisfied. Yes, we got the axe ending first. Hope you're all satisfied. You got to see Clover be a psycho and chop up Junpei's hand for his bracelet. 999, a game where we can talk about hard meat, getting wet, going down, and also the little girl just axe murdered a whole bunch of people.
Was it his hand that she chopped?
I was under the impression that that's what she, because she extends her hand out to me. She's like, take my hand. So it was like, ooh, cute, slice. And then she takes his bracelet.
Yeah, I don't know who. Someone might correct us or something. Well,
it was probably his head because he was just screaming while his bloody and throated.
something like that. So after you reach an ending, the game will ask you to save. And after you do that, there will be an icon that will appear, indicating which ending you got. And what we have here is an axe. How fitting. And that'll wrap it up for today. We'll see you next time for more 999 madness. And hopefully less of the creepy Clover.